but sometime you will. We want to thank you for all that you do and everything that you have done. But we have a person that we all love in this room. If you are from Tampa, there is a term. It's called, you can call somebody a legend, right? You have heard the term legend. Am I correct? Referring to people, you know, he's a legend. Well, the thing about a legend is that legend sometimes is a story that may be true, may not be true. So I don't use that term. I rather use the term icon. Because an icon is real. An icon is something that you touch, that you have seen, that you have been affected by it, that you can verify the facts, that you can, in some cases, look at it and touch it, or hear in this case. One of the greatest citizens in Tampa is Honorable E.J. Salsines. Let me tell you a little bit about EJ. They call me EJ too, and when I retired, they would say, well, EJ Otero, EJ, are you related to EJ Salsines? And I go, okay, he's EJ and I'm EJ. How can we be related? It's just a nickname. It's not that hard. But then I found out who the gentleman was, because I have heard about him when I was at Central Command in SOCOM. EJ Salsines spent 22 years as a prosecutor. So far, so good. E.J. Salsines spent 13 years in the appellate court as a judge. So far, so good. E.J. Salsines also was an advisor to what is now the DEA, back then was the Federal Bureau of Narcotics. E.J. Salsines developed courses on pretrial motions and participation in the court that today are used as samples at Stetson University. E.J. Salsines, let's move from all that legal stuff, all those amazing achievements as a legal mind, an advisor to governors, an advisor to all kinds of folks. That's one. Number two, a hell of a citizen. He was distinguished citizen by University of South Florida. And he was also deserving, and he earned the University of South Florida Distinguished Service Award in 1996, I believe, or 94, around that time. E.J. Salsines, anywhere you go, his thumb is imprinted in every event that goes on in the city. There is not one event in which his name doesn't come up. As a mentor, as a guiding light, as somebody that you can go and get to know. The first time I met him, he gave me a hug. He didn't know who I was. He gave me a hug.
Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. What Otero did not tell you is that when they introduced me to Otero and I gave him un fuerte abrazo, I also told him, if they put you in jail, if I can't get you out, I'll get in the cell with you. He was very impressed. He told his friends, el gallo este dice que se mete en la celda conmigo si me meten en la cárcel. I'm especially pleased to be here with all of you, especially with Mr. and Mrs. Carrasco. I want you to know that he embraced our country as soon as he arrived from beautiful Venezuela. But he came with an absolute feeling, yo quiero ser estadounidense. I want to be a citizen of this country. And he studied very hard. He had a hard time learning to speak English. He had a hard time learning the Constitution. He had a hard time memorizing the Bill of Rights. But the naturalization examiner asked him all the many questions that they ask you during your citizenship tests, and Carrasco knew the answers to all of them. And when he went before the judge to take his oath as an American citizen, the Statue of Liberty herself was so happy that Carrasco became an American citizen that the Statue of Liberty smiled. And if you don't think that that's enough, Uncle Sam, with his red, white, and blue outfit, looked to Carrasco and took his hat off, and he said, "Bienvenido a la ciudadanía americana." You may not be aware that Uncle Sam speaks Spanish. Oh, yes. He remembers that before they spoke English in this country, 100 years before they spoke English, they were speaking Espanol. Uncle Sam, by the way, knows that in order to get into heaven, that's right, in order to get into heaven, you have to speak Spanish. ¿Por qué? Because St. Peter no speak English. So, we are very, very pleased to recognize one of America's youngest citizens, a naturalized American citizen, but a man who's already making his mark in this country. He has formed not just one, but two foundations. One of them for his native Venezuela, and the other to make this a better and stronger United States by helping the young people develop to be better citizens. So we owe a big round of applause to Carrasco and that vision. In case you're wondering, Venezuela has been sending us for many, many years wonderful people, many of whom are excellent ball players. In 79 years, there have been 357 Venezolanos playing baseball in the United States. And Carrasco has already made his mark. I want you to know that 59 Venezuelan players in the major leagues of baseball in opening day became the most country represented throughout baseball except for República Dominicana. So I don't know what they have in the water down in Venezuela. I don't know what they put in the arepas down in Venezuela, but they sure do produce great baseball players and great United States citizens. The Luis Aparicio Award was established in 2004 in honor of Luis Aparicio, the only Venezuelan baseball player to be inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. In 2012 World Series, there were 9 Venezuelans. Of the 50 players in the World Series, 9 eran venezolanos. I'm especially pleased that Joe Capitano made the Italian club available for this beautiful event. In case you don't know it, you are in a very historic institution. Tampa is famous for the many immigrants that have come to Tampa during the last 130 years. Spaniards, Cubans, Italians, Germans, French, Irish, Scottish, you name it, Tampa received it. Many of those foreigners were proud of their heritage. They wanted to maintain not just the language, but they wanted to maintain their tradition and their culture. Many of those groups formed what we produced, more major league players than any other city in the entire United States. From Al Lopez to Tony La Russa, to Wade Boggs, to Luisito Pinilla, and many, many, many others. Tampa's place in baseball history is secure. The passion for baseball started here in the 19th century. In fact, we can trace it to 1878 and Thomas P. Crichton, son of a Tampa Civil War mayor, who first organized baseball here many, many years ago. Back then, you'll be surprised to know, back then, only the catcher and the pitcher wore gloves. The only two that wore gloves originally were the pitcher and the catcher. Teams from other towns came to Tampa. The Tampa teams went off to Sanford and to Jacksonville to play, and the interest in the game grew throughout our town. Wherever there was a field, vamos a jugar la pelota. Let's play ball. And then came Cascaden Park and then McFarland Park. And McFarland Park, as you know, has been the Little League center for world champion Little League players. I told you that we've had players, champions, heroes, some refer to him as the patron saint of baseball in Tampa. He played 19 years. I will see that Cookie comes over so that we can go over to visit Bob Buckhorn. We're here because we want to applaud what Cookie Carrasco and his wife have done in establishing the Carrasco Family Foundation. Their efforts deserve our support, our help. I hope that all of you will volunteer with your talents, with your time, and with your donation to make the Carrasco Foundation a total success in helping the young people of our community and our nation be better citizens. ¡Que vivan los Carrasco! ¡Bravo! ¡Bravo! Thank you very much. ¡Que vivan los Carrasco!
Bueno, dicho esto, I'm going to say it in Spanish.